Hey everyone, real estate agent fanatics is back with you today. Again, I'm Mike Nelson, sharing my expertise or lack of expertise, sharing my knowledge of being 9 years in the industry. The last couple of videos we've talked about is what is a buyer's and seller's market. We really got deep into the buyer's market on the last video. So today we want to talk about a seller's market. Well, it's July 4th, 2022. Through the first quarter and some change of 2022 and 2021 was 100% crazy, loony, weird, wackadoo seller's market. Like pendulum had swung hard. So how do we look at seller's markets? We talked about that on the last one with the buyers. Just in case you guys missed it, realtors should be able to pull absorption rates for you. Anything over 20% absorption means it's a hot market for sellers. It's been the way it's been for a little while. I still believe, based on where your market is, you're probably still above 20% absorption and you're in a seller's market. If you're looking at months of inventory, supply, you're probably looking at less than 4 months of supply, meaning if no more houses came on the market, how quickly would it take to evaporate the existing houses on the market? It's probably less than 4 months, which are probably in a seller's market as well. Again, I will always foot stomp. You should look neighborhood in your neighborhood, not city, not state, not nationwide. When you're hearing all of these big stories, really focus on your neighborhood because it will change neighborhood to neighborhood. All right, cool. That kind of goes through the technicalities of it. Again, a good real estate agent with some experience and knowledge should be able to use data points to help you discover what your neighborhood is versus just what others are hearing, what the news is saying, so on and so forth. All that's great, but let's face it, news is known, and that's how they attract people, is through kind of inflammatory titles and just catching the audience's attention. Armageddon's coming with a snowstorm, and then you get on and they're like, well, it's 1 inch, but it could happen next month, right? Those are just drastic examples of how they catch our attention. Cool. So what does it look like when you're in a seller's market, right? That should be pretty fresh on everybody's mind. The buyer's market, I think people have forgotten because it's been a little while since we've been in that market. But the seller's market is just look around, right? Seller's market is, I mean, we have to get the house appraised, but crap, I mean, houses are going for whatever. Like, I don't even know what to tell you the price is. I mean, I'll tell you what I think is reasonable and what the market is saying, but sometimes I've seen people pay crazy prices. Let's just shoot for it. Let's kind of go with it from there. You know, seller's markets, a lot of times they're getting more showings than we would normally see. Their days on market is like usually less than a week. They're getting multiple offers if it's priced right to start with and it's in good condition and location and all the kind of standard stuff. Sellers kind of don't really have to do a ton to their house because the buyer is going to have to take on some of that work because inventory is so low. Not a whole lot of concessions that the sellers have to give. Sometimes they can be a little bit more fickle about FHA loans and some things like that. A lot of cash offers might be coming in to compete in the market. Contingencies may or may not be as hot of a thing just because there's a lot of buyer choices for sellers of buyers that may or may not want to bring a contingency to the table or accept a contingency. So that's kind of the seller side. We've seen that. Sometimes buyers are waiving their ability to ask for things to be fixed on the home through inspections. They're guaranteeing appraisals. They're giving appraisal gaps. Like, to me, we've just been in the weirdest, like, highest point seller's market ever. And just like any kind of capitalism or any open market, things are going to swing back the other way at some point in time. That's just the way it works. It's never going to stay in one economical range. It's always going to be kind of correcting, right? Hot seller's market, neutral. Buyer's market, neutral, seller's market, and these just take years and years and years to kind of swing through those pendulums. All right, so what does it look like if you are a buyer in a seller's market? Right? As a buyer, it's an uphill battle, as you probably know. You should probably plan on likely losing a handful of offers. You should be, and your agent should be getting you out there as soon as the house hits the market and you can go see it. Got to be quick. You should probably look at an agent that has relationships within the community. Like, brand new agents may struggle because a lot of times sellers and their agents who don't know the agent on the other side of the table may go, new agents can be a little bit amiss. They can still be learning, let's say. Maybe we don't want to deal with them. Maybe they're not working with a high quality buyer because they're a new agent. Like, none of that has to be true, but sometimes it is true. And so if you have relationships in the community and you've done quite a bit of business, maybe that's a tiebreaker when you're competing against another agent who is maybe not as known, or an out-of-city agent, or whatever the case may be. So just a little tip there if you're a buyer looking in a seller's market. I think same thing goes true with sellers. In a seller's market, of course, is like, hey, we should be, or even in a buyer's market, we should be looking at experienced agents that can know how to get the job done. or at least supported by a team or an organization that can make sure that that name, brand, and the systems and processes are in place to get things done. Also, I would say in a heavy seller's market for buyers is having all your financing done ahead of time. The further you're through that, whether that's a pre-approval, like all you're waiting is on just the contract on the house and the title, all that stuff is good. The more money you can put down, obviously makes you more favorable. A lot of it comes down to finances, terms, and conditions, right? How much are you willing to offer? How much are you willing to guarantee? How good is your loan package if you are at in your finances? Why does cash win? Because it's pretty much a guarantee other than just getting through an inspection. There's no appraisal, there's no loan. So again, same thing on the finance side. Is the less risky your lending finance side is, the better off you're going to be. So that's kind of a quick down and dirty on the seller's market. Usually those houses are moving quickly. The downside for buyers on that obviously is they have to make uncomfortable quick decisions on the house. Their fallback is they know on inspection if there's something they don't like about the house on inspection, they can get out of the deal. However, generally they have to make super quick decisions on a house, lots of pressure, probably competing against multiple offers, so on and so forth. Anyways, if you have any other questions about being a seller's market, buyer's market, what those mean, put a comment down below. Happy to share more information with you. My Calendly links down below. Feel free, schedule time on my calendar. Happy to have a conversation with you about anything and everything real estate related. Don't forget, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell, and super excited to catch you on the next video. Thanks.